let me ask you a ridiculous question. So you've created some of the greatest games ever. I think the question would be, what's the best game of all time? All right. Just give me a second.
Tetris.
So, Tetris. All right, yeah, that's interesting.
Have you read the book on Tetris?
No.
You should read it, particularly for someone who grew up in Russia.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an interesting story. The fact that there's a book about Tetris is fascinating. Is there a book about Mario? I would love I would love to find out more. But I think I would put Skyrim
I'll take that. Good answer.
at number one for me, which is tough. However you put it, because you could also make the case out of the Elder Scrolls series. Like, what do you actually value more? If you put Tetris and Super Mario up there, then like the credit goes to Morrowind maybe over Skyrim. I don't know where the biggest leaps are, but overall I think it's Skyrim. But for you, if you're not allowed to pick any of the games you were involved with, what are some interesting candidates for you that are just games that inspired the world, impacted the world, shook the world in terms of what video games are able to do?
Well, first, I'm just sort of like hearing you say that you think Skyrim is the best game of all time is quite like, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, incredible thing to hear. And, when I think about, we have a couple of answers. There's ones that are like personal to me. Ultima 7 is probably.
Yeah, can you talk about Ultima? Like you said that as an inspiration. I've never crossed that world.
Well,
what kind of game is it?
It's a role-playing game.
Mm-hmm.
Circa 1992, 93, 94. And Ultima Online, first, really visual online world in that way. But for me, that was a virtual fantasy world where I had, you could bake bread. You could pick all this stuff up. I mean, anyone who's played Ultimas and plays our stuff can see the kind of touchstones and callbacks to that or inspirations. And the other thing that I loved about Ultima was particularly they were all different, right? That they iterated and they weren't necessarily what I'll call a +1 sequel outside of Ultima 7 Part 2, clearly a +1 sequel, but they each had their own tone. I love like the boxes. It's something that we get into as well. I love this idea that a game also is this tangible thing.
Oh, when you buy it,
the cardboard boxes and the way they were designed, and Ultima 7 is black and Ultima 8's the fiery gate and the paintings on them. And I just,
does that break your heart a little bit that culture is a bit gone?
A little bit. And that's also why I like, this goes to video gaming or any other digital things where digital ownership has great value to people. So I like looking at my collections of games, even digitally. I want to see nice, in the same way you want to see nice album art, I want to see nice cover art for our games. And we spend a lot of time in them so that, take a look at Elder Scrolls and Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. We want those boxes to look good next to each other. Going back to the video games, I always mention Tetris because I think it's, obviously I love virtual worlds and those kind of things, but for the time and what an interactive like video game, sort of the simplest form, I sort of think you can put Tetris in front of just about anybody and they'll enjoy it. And it's got some moment of challenge and it's just so elegant. It's like, to me, this very pure game that only works because it's a video game.
And I think mobile games figured out some of the magic of Tetris, the simple.
Some of them have, yeah.
But Tetris did it a long time ago.
Right.
You can really create that immersive experience without.
But for me, the Ultima Civilization.
Yeah.
As far as a grand strategy game. Pac-Man I mentioned in terms of bringing games into the mainstream in a way that captured people that nothing before it had. Super Mario, Donkey Kong, everything. Nintendo, probably the best game makers in the world still. They know who they are. They know what they want to do. Always in awe of what they create.
I got to ask you about a game I haven't played, but people put up there as one of the greats is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Have you gotten a chance to play it?
A lot of it, yes. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
What do you think about? I mean, it's a very different experience. I played other Zeldas than the open worlds you've created, but it is also an open world.
It is. It's my favorite Zelda because obviously like open world stuff. And the one thing that they do really, really well is they don't constrain you. Some people, even some of the things we do constrain you a little bit more. Zelda says, here's the whole thing. And you are constrained by the actual player abilities you haven't earned yet, not some arbitrary barriers. And so I think they just did a phenomenal job. It's a magical game.
It really feels open.
It's because it truly is, yes.
What about, I mean, I'm just like asking you about some open world. A very different one is the world of either Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption.
Both love. I would put GTA 3, Grand Theft Auto 3 up there with the landmark kind of usher in the open world. When that comes out on the PlayStation 2, even though there was GTA 1 and 2, this was an all-new thing with the mobster storytelling.
Is that the first 3D version, I guess?
It was. Then Vice City's kind of a fast follow, which could be my favorite one. I loved all the Grand Theft Autos. I think they're really phenomenally well-made games. Same with Red Dead. I think Red Dead Redemption 1 could be my favorite story. Highly recommend finishing that game.
So you like both the story, you like the grittiness of that, because they have a bit of the, like, I guess if you like the Fallout, there's the humor, I don't know what it is. It's the light-hearted humor of it, but also the brutality of human nature is in there too. But it's like, and also some of the fun they create with the music when you drive and stuff like that. They create a world. There's a tone.
They do.
There's a very strong tone.
There is a very strong tone. The satire on the world is just so well done.
Satire's good.
The gameplay is great. I think they've just done a phenomenal job.
Is there any others that pop to mind? Portal, yeah. That's another weird creation.
I could just sit here and list games forever.
Well, I'm enjoying this.
Hearthstone's a game I love. I love all types, like sports. College football, NCAA football was my favorite. It's like, I would say this is a great role playing game.
Would actually keep getting role.
It's a role-playing game because I have all these characters. I have 60 characters, and they're all leveling up, and then I have to play them. And then the college one, because I like college football, they'd graduate, so you lose your players, and then they stop making the series. And I know the folks at EA, and they will say, I have bugged them. When is this coming? And they're doing it, so it's finally coming back.
Nice. What would you say is the greatest sports game of all time?
Well, it's NCAA football. I have to pick the year.
NCAA versus Madden?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but there's more teams. You got the college, fight songs. There's more pageantry. And the players turn over. They're only there for 4 seasons. So you have to, it's more dynamic.
So you like variety versus.
So what was the last one? 2014, maybe it was.
And you don't like FIFA and.
Look, FIFA's incredible. I'm a college football fan. They give you that fantasy. If you like European football / soccer, FIFA is incredible. Yeah, I love that game too.
Have you been paying attention to the game design of that world, of those worlds?
Yeah, and the thing people, I think, with those kind of games, it is or racing games. Forza put up there. I love Forza. Played them all. When you have to recreate something that's real in the real world, say it's cars or it's sports games, everybody knows how it should work. That's a really difficult task when people know how it should work. Then you're going to balance it for single player. The multiplayer parts of it, they get very, very competitive. And, in many respects, you're forced to put out a new version every year. And I say forced in quotes because they're, you count them as big updates. But it's a much more difficult development process than I think people understand, and how hard those teams work. I know a lot of people who do it, and I think they just do I've enjoyed them all. I buy Madden every year.
So yeah, every single year. Yeah, they do refresh it. There's a feeling of freshness. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, look, there have been years where it feels like less was done and more was done, but I enjoy it every year.